So welcome to Art 116, last day of the quarter. I have a few housekeeping announcements first. I went in and I tried to reopen assignments for people who still hadn't gotten a thing in for certain assignments. And so if I have overlooked somebody, and if you're trying to upload something and the assignment is closed for you, please email me, drop me a line. I want you to get the points. I want you to get caught up and to be able to get credit for the work that you've done. This virtual online classroom situation is less than perfect for us as artists and designers because we have artwork that we want to show and artwork that we want to turn in, and it's very difficult. So I'm trying to reopen as much as I can to get that stuff in. Okay, that was one. The next thing is that we're having a quiz next week. Let's see, a lot of people want to try to wrap up their quarter early. A lot of people want to try to get out of here. Our final exam has always traditionally been on Wednesday of finals week. I'm going to go ahead and make it available, the final quiz, on Monday. So you can take it on Monday if you want. You can wait until Wednesday to take it if you'd like to. Whatever works into your end of the quarter needs. Some of you guys are trying to wrap up your quarter quickly and catch a ride to remote places away from here, which I can totally understand. So if you need to take the quiz early, you can take it on Monday. If you need some more time for studying, finishing up stuff, and just other finals that you're taking next week, you can come in and take it, anytime up till Wednesday, and that'd be fine. So I will be building the quiz in my Laker Link shell for this class, and that's where you will access it. It'll be the same as the midterm, 20 questions, multiple choice, or multiple fill in the blank, or something multiple that is relatively accessible. I have created a study guide for the final quiz, and I've posted it in the coursework. So it's a read only, or it's a reading document. It's nothing else. And it's just to help with the concepts that we've been dealing with in the last half of the quarter to guide you towards, what's going to be on the quiz. But if you're reading our text, if you're keeping up with this stuff, then you should have no problem with this quiz, because it's pretty much hitting the really high points of the quarter. I do not have COVID. I have allergies, and all of the trees and flowers out there are having sex, and I have to breathe all that crap. So that's why I'm congested, and I may lose my voice halfway through this, but we'll see how it goes today. What I wanted to do today was to just see how you guys are doing with this thing. I went back and reviewed the deadline and everything. I guess I put a due date on here of Wednesday, but there's also a due date extension on there till Sunday. So just because it says that it is that it was due on Wednesday does not mean that it won't let you upload it. It should let you upload it to until Sunday. If you're having any trouble with it, please let me know. Email me, please let me know, and I will go in and reopen it for everybody. But we're doing what is this? a subjective color reinterpretation of some masterwork, usually ones that dealt with subjective color in the past. And so we've got Warhols, and we've got Matisse's, and a Lichtenstein in there, plus anything anybody else is doing on your own. Some of you that are artists or digital artists are really coloring outside the lines and doing something special. One person decided that they were going to do a screen grab of me and do that as a painting, as a subjective color painting. Oh my God, good luck with that. Now, that person happens to be in the digital design program, and so she's using all of the Adobe suite of tools, digital tools that are available for those folks. I'm teaching a much more basic and broad, wide-ranging design class here. So you guys are learning some basic, painting skills and basic color theory in here that are generally applicable to whether you are a designer or an artist or anything else that deals with color. So having said all that, I wanted to see if anybody wanted to share their piece today, either a finished piece that maybe you've already photographed and you have a digital version of this that's open and on your desktop that you can screen share. If so, I need to actually make screen sharing available to everybody, which I just did. Or if you've got something that is just in progress and it's still not finished, but at least you can pick it up and show it to your webcam so that we can just get a sense of it, so that we can comment on it, try to help you out of the weeds. If you are in a stuck position with it, then that would be fine too. And now I open it up to everybody in the classroom. Is there anyone here who has one that they'd like to? Oh, Daniella has already unmuted her mic. What's up, Daniella?
I don't know. I want to show you my progress, but let me show you.
Okay, so I have it. Yes.
Let's see.
So I get phone calls and you guys get phone calls. Now, I've enabled screen sharing, but it still might be tough to try to get the screen sharing going here. So it takes a couple of seconds.
That's what I have. But
okay. So when you hit the screen share button, you have to both click on your object so that is highlighted, and then click on the blue screen share button while you're doing that to get it to come up.
She isn't screen sharing. She was trying to show it on her. She was trying to show it on her camera.
Oh, on her camera. Excuse me. I gotta go find you then. Where are you? Oh, and so I'm pinned, and that's my problem. Okay, so I'm going to replace the pin. Here we go. Here it comes. That's so beautiful. Okay, I like it. I see what you've done there. Light blue background. You've got the peach kind of thing going for the skin tones. Lots of activity happening in the hair. I like the brown underpainting, and then the higher key values of streaks going through the hair, S strokes, S shapes, and everything. So very good. I think you got a good thing going there. Do you have just one paintbrush at your disposal, or do you have a variety of sizes of paintbrush? It's looking good. The reason I ask is because I was wondering if you have any finer paintbrush for trying to do the finer details, like around the eyelids, or the yeah, that's that part there. Now, for some reason, your microphone isn't working, and I don't know why, but you're muted, and I would love to unmute you if possible. But anyway, I'd like you to try to bring some highlights into the eyelid, because right now the eyelids are rather dark, and to try to get both a lower line and an upper line on the upper eyelid, because that would help to define the eyelid just a little bit better, and then a highlight inside that eyelid. And the same thing with the lips. If you can get a little bit of a highlight on that lower lip, somewhere in the middle, just a little dot of one of your higher key colors, either the light blue or the white or something, that would help a lot. I like how you've worked the light blue into the bridge of the nose and kind of around the eyes. And I think that's really important, to work the light blue into some of the other areas of the composition. Even streak it through the hair in some of those S stroke brush strokes, because working that light blue in all over the place will help with unifying the composition. Right now, the composition isn't quite unified because the light blue is dominating the background and is only in the foreground a little bit in the eyes and on the bridge of the nose. So working that light blue in some more brush strokes throughout the hair and stuff will help. Does that kind of feedback help you?
yes.
Oh, good, fantastic. Okay, thank you so much. I mean, I know that you're picking up like your webcam or your whole darn thing and trying to show it to us. And I appreciate how hard it is. Or is that your phone that you're doing that with?
It's my phone.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. You can quit the what is it? The screen share now, and we can come back to us, which is whatever we are. So I'm gonna, replace the pin again to the guy who's talking because that's me. Thank you, Daniela. That was brave and courageous. I hope that we were helpful. I hope that everybody else learned something from that too, that I am not a meanie and that you can, you can be not done and looking for a little bit of feedback. And that's what the critiquing process is. It's not, something that's meant to be hurtful or anything like that, but just constructive and helpful to try to find ways to improve the composition. So thank you, Daniela, for that. Anybody else within the sound of my voice who would like to share their composition at this point in our little happy thing? It's always my hope that by this time you guys have been able to get started with it and have something kind of roughed out so that we could have something to look at and or talk about. And you might have to pick up your laptop and actually shine that webcam down on your piece, or pick up your piece and display it on webcam to us. Try to hold it steady. Maybe put your elbows down like this so you can hold it steady, so that we can see it. I know you guys don't want to turn on your webcams. Nobody wants to turn on their webcams at 9 o'clock in the morning. And yet here we are trying to, be as attractive as this. If I have the courage to appear to you guys on a webcam, maybe you guys can play my game too, and that'll be fun. Anybody else, for the good of the order, want to do this today? Let's see, is there anything, any progress that I've made on these that I can talk about or help you with? Because I might do that. Not seeing anybody else at this moment who wants to do that, so let me change my camera to the overhead view and put these down here kind of side by side and just talk about some of the dumb things that I've done in the last 3 days or so. You probably saw me do this, throw a little bit of yellow on top of this side of this part of the composition, so that I was stealing a little bit from Matisse's ideas. The way that he did the green line, the Meta Matisse painting, where one side of it was kind of peach and one side of it was a scary color, yellow or something like that. I thought I'd throw this in, to Botticelli's Venus, or at least Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol is the artist that we're playing with here because he's the one who tried to do a pop art version of Botticelli's Venus, just the portrait. And so since I was working in the yellows so much into the hair, kind of streaking the hair with yellow, being both a form and kind of a detail element in the hair, I wanted to try to pull that into the face too, because there just wasn't enough yellow in the face. And there still isn't any yellow in the background. On this one that I did for the afternoon class, now I'm always real proud of this little art mark up here, this little kind of just a little zigzag brush stroke that I did with yellow, because I was doing yellow in the hair. And I just thought this huge, vast area of negative space over here on the left side of the composition, it's interesting and whatever, and it's violet, and it's a tint of violet, but I needed to pull something in there, either the orange or the yellow or the green, something in there. So I just did a like that with a brush full of paint, and that got me a little bit of yellow, just a hint of yellow out here, which some strange way creates a little bit of dynamic balance and tension with all of this yellow that's happening over here. Just that tiny little brush stroke of yellow is enough to help to unify and harmonize the composition a little bit. So we really do want to try to move some of our colors into other areas of the composition. I've got the green, in here and in the hair, and there is just a tiny little bit of green. There was a little bit of yellow and a little bit of green on this brush stroke. And so there's just enough of it over here that there is some green throughout the composition. anyway, those are some of the more subtle ideas about color and color theory that is really helpful, especially for you when you're building compositions, either in paintings or in a digital design or website. The idea of unifying the entire composition by getting a little bit of it distributed in all areas of the composition so that nothing is like ignored or kind of left out in terms of color balance in the composition. So there's all of that. I'm coming back to you with my face because I've run out of ideas, and you guys, maybe you've run out of interest or patience with this class. We made it to the end, and I just want to thank you and celebrate a little bit the idea that we took a design class, a color theory design class, and we did it online, completely online, where we had to deal with all of the challenges of not being in the same room together. I hope that my demonstrations have been helpful. I hope that you've been able to kind of muddle through with applying some of these painting techniques and being able to see what happens when you're painting and creating with color and creating color harmonies in the ways that we've been doing, because these are the kinds of basic ideas then that are applicable to a painting class, to your career as a designer in fashion or interior design or web design, graphic design, anything where you are working with colors and color shapes. This basic design class in color theory is what's there to be very helpful for you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? You don't have to show anything right now, but if you have a question that I can answer, please go ahead and unmute your mic. And for the good of the order, here comes Daniella again.
Sorry, I have a question.
You don't have to
so for the subjective color, I turned it in, but I want to turn it in again, like, because I didn't finish it, so I think I put the wrong file on my homework. So as I'm checking, I cannot like turn it in again. Like, is there any way that you can open the assignment for me again, and so I can turn it in again?
Yes, well, as soon as class is over, I'll go in there and look at it. The assignment, it was open until Wednesday, and I'm taking late submissions until Sunday, so it should be able to still upload. There's no points penalty or anything. I'm giving you full credit, and I just, this is kind of a funky, wonky online course shell. Because I don't really want to have a deadline and then take late stuff. I don't want you to think that it's late. I want you to get full credit for it. But I'll just go ahead and reopen it and push the deadline back till Sunday, and that'll be helpful. Thanks, Daniela. That helps. And I do want you to upload a newer version of it. That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no dumb questions, and I really want to work with you guys as good as possible. Oh, I'm looking at myself on the screen, and I'm thinking, that man probably needs to look in a mirror more often and do a little bit of something with this. But maybe I will after today. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions, any other mics becoming.
I have a quick question.
There's Emily. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Are we going to be in person next term?
I don't know. That's a really good question. Next term is Introduction to 3D Design. I like being in person because we're building stuff. I haven't talked to my dean about that, so I'm going to ask him, and I will know the answer to that next week. If you email me that question, that would be great, and I will go find out, and then I'll probably email it out to everybody in the class so that you know whether we're going to be in person or to what extent we're going to be in person. I did some hybrid classes this year where we were online for the first 2 weeks until everybody, was, through a probationary incubation, whatever period. And then we started meeting face to face in sculpture with my bronze casting class. We did all of our sculpting for the bronze casting class for 7 weeks online together. And then we got together for the last 3 weeks for the bronze casting and the grinding and polishing on the sculptures. As we move forward with the epidemic, it seems like we should be able to have more and more of the classes, or at least more aspects of the class, meeting face to face. My best guess right now is that we would start the class not face to face. We would start the class online for 2 weeks, and then we'll see what happens after that, whether we can start coming to Eden Hall and meeting together. Does that help at all? I hope that helps to answer it.
Yeah, that does. I know everything's like, up in the air right now, so I understand.
Yeah. I gotta say that things are looking up in terms of more vaccine becoming available. The recovery plan got approved by Congress and signed by the president. You guys should be getting checks in the mail, maybe even as early as this weekend. Things are looking up. So the only thing that can mess this up is if we stop wearing masks and go out and have parties all the time and everybody gets the virus and dies. That's the only thing that can really screw up what otherwise I think is going to be a recovery. So please continue to wear masks over over spring break and into spring quarter. And really, I think we're going to be wearing masks for the long haul, probably 6 months to a year, even as we get through herd immunity. So try to buy good masks, invest in better looking, better functioning masks. And in 3D design, we're going to do a mask project where we're going to design and make masks first thing for 3D design class. So if you have any sewing background or experience, or if you have a sewing machine, make sure you bring it back with you from after spring break, because we really want to do that project first. It's going to be 2 weeks long. We're going to design and make COVID masks in the class, and I will lead that project. So thanks for the question. Good question. Anything else for the good of the order from anybody else in the class? Otherwise, we're going to call it a day. It's a day. All right. Thanks so much for doing this. I will try to reopen the projects. I will see you guys Monday through Wednesday next week online. Actually, won't see you at all, but please take advantage of the online to take your quiz next week for your final, and try to get all those projects caught up and uploaded for me. Have a good rest of your weekend and finals week, and a good spring break, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.